I'm here to take over.
Oh yeah? You and what army?
I was hoping you'd ask me that.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to part 3 of the Plants vs. Zombies Summoner Only Challenge, where I take my army of Zoy zombies, carnivorous turkeys, synthetic tigers, mind-controlled zombies, and parasitic mushrooms on an infectious invasion of various locations in history. Last time we were able to finish off Pirate Seas with the help of Solar Sage, punch through Wild West after overcoming that one mission with the chickens and the miner jumpers, and we were shaping out to be getting through the Frostbite Caves rather well. And continuing on to day 11, it was immediately another survive with most of the plants pre-picked, locking me to only 2 usable plants. I wanted to see how well I would fare without Solar Sage, so I ended up just running the zoybean Enchantmint combo. Ironically, I dropped the ball and had to redo this mission 3 times due to a secondary challenge I entirely imposed on myself. I got it the 4th time, but this was a good learning experience to understand just how screwed I was if any of the backlanes got frozen, as I would have no way of unfreezing it. Day 12 was another plan your defense mission, further solidifying this danger, as it was vital for me to be cautious with placing my plants and conserving and recycling my sun so my plants would be dug up before they could be frozen.
I know this is gonna be hard for you, but put me out of my misery!
Day 13, we were back to normal plant selection with a Protect the Flowers, which we were able to hold the line using enchantments and melonhead pushes for both the respective vinyl waves. Day 14 was survive with the given plants, yada yada yada. Impair is wanted in 4 countries for unethical human experimentation. Day 15, things were getting really interesting challenge-wise, as I now had to pay far closer attention to plants and freezing, especially if there were secondary objectives now, as I once again had to repeat this mission multiple times. Day 16 was a conveyor belt mission, more random memes or statements. Don't ask why Vampircini's favorite song is Empty Be Square. Day 17 wasn't that difficult when I used my whole arsenal against the zombies, utilizing zoybeans and tiger grass to bust down ice as soon as it perked up. And day 18, oh, it's another conveyor belt mission. You know what, instead of making a meme, I'm just gonna have Peter do a cutaway gag.
I forgot what the setup was.
Day 19 was a most plants picked again, giving us only 3 slots, and I did end up using Solar Sage for this one again, and it was a decent challenge, but nothing too difficult, with both zoybean and turkeypult working in tandem. Day 20, another battle of attrition, but I'm winning simply because my forces are stronger, allowed by Solar Sage, and even being more buffed by Enchantment. Day 21, conveyor belt mission. I don't know, just pretend I teased Plants vs. Zombies theory or something here. Day 22 was all about the weasel zombies, and they carry an equivalent threat to chicken zombies, though slightly more or less compared to what you're bringing with you. They have a little bit more health than a chicken, but are slower and less of them spawn. Day 23 was protect the endangered plants, and since sunflowers were already on the field, I made the decision to not use Solar Sage here, and instead decided that this would be a bonus objective for the rest of the challenge to not use Solar Sage if other sun production was available. Day 24 produced 2,500 okay, well that didn't last long. Back to using Solar Sage, we were able to get the capital we needed and punch right through the mission, specifically targeting hunters and weasel zombies with the Solar Sages. Day 25, another conveyor belt mission, Rutabaga as a jankum dealer outside of office hours. Day 26, I restarted it instantly because I saw frozen sun shrooms, then immediately put on the clown makeup because I realized I have no way of unfreezing the plants in the back row. Day 27, more protect the endangered plants. It was once again a somewhat close fight even with the Solar Sage, but any one of my main 3 summoners, zoybean, turkeypult, or tiger grass, combined with one of the others is just really good. Day 28 was a plan your defense, and this one was very close, with me using most of my lawnmowers and only saving myself with a well-timed enchantment at the very end. Day 29 was yet another survive with the given plants, so instead just suffer through 10 seconds of the most brain rot inducing ad that EA has forced me to watch while playing this game.
Guns clear the way. Bang, bang, bang. All clear. Perfect rhythm. Don't give the enemy time to react. Ouch, mistake. Lost 2 people.
Oh, and day 30 we poached a mammoth. Now onto the Lost City. Now, Lost City's main gimmick is it has special tiles that produce sun when plants go onto them, meaning I was reimposing the secondary challenge without using Solar Sage. And day 1 and 2 largely played out how the ancient Egypt late days were, with me mainly just using Zoybean and Hypnoshroom. Things didn't really pick up until we make it to day 4, where we are introduced to the Excavator zombie, a zombie that blocks most frontal damage completely, moves decently fast, and throws plants behind itself to get ahead. He isn't any run ender of mine, as pretty much all of my plants can still hit him, though he's not a pushover by any means either. Oh, and day 5 was a conveyor belt mission. Day 6 had all the sun tiles close to the right side of the lane, so we tiger grassed them all and vaporized zombies literally as they spawned. Day 7 we did the same thing, though we also had to deal with umbrella zombies, which once again aren't that dangerous to us, as the only damage they can actually block are spore shrooms, because turkey pults go right through them. Day 8, another survive with the chosen plants. Surely though, there won't be another one of these days that don't count towards the challenge anytime soon. And Day 9 was a conveyor belt mission. Day 10 was 3 whole flags, but tiger grass really brings to light just how fast it vaporizes everything it is strong enough to do so. Day 11, we finally weren't close range anymore, so we planted all 3 of the main summoners again, and paired it with a single enchantment to vaporize the final wave. Day 12 was very interesting, as it was a produce 5,000 sun mission, which I thought I was going to have to break the secondary challenge, but turns out you can 100% do this with just the sun tiles. Most people who actually use turkeypult consistently know that turkeypult can basically stunlock a gargantuar due to the fact that it has to hit each individual turkey. We take that combined with just using the standard plant spamming to block the gargantuar from progressing, and we can just stall until the sun max reduces, and then finish off the garg with a murder of turkeys. Day 13, conveyor belt mission. Day 14 was survive with the oh, okay, it's starting to not be funny anymore. Day 15 was protect 2 keys, and since all the sun tiles are in the back, we just spammed a bunch of zoybeans and finish off the tough waves with a single enchantment. Day 16, I can't believe it's another conveyor belt. More like I can't believe they removed the ultimate battle music from this game. Day 17 introduced importers, who set zombie spawners on sun tiles, but since I was stealing all the sun tiles for myself anyways, the day was over in like 1 minute. Day 18 was another conveyor belt mission. Day 19 was another simple battle of attrition, spawners on both sides fighting for sun tiles, decent day all around, nicely done. And Day 20 introduced me to the mysterious letter of power.
Whoa, look at that.
The map played much like Day 19, as it was a simple battle of attrition where I fought for control of the sun tiles with the zombies, once again able to overwhelm their forces with the enchantment. Day 21 and Day 22 were both cringe pre-picked plant days bottom text, and Day 23 was actually a bit rougher of a fight simply due to all these relic hunter zombies, as they have more health than a conehead, meaning they could swing in and screw up my entire zoybean march setup if I only have one there. Day 24 had us defending the flowers from trample again, though with the steep cost. I ran mainly turkeypult and tiger grass because of it, which went pretty much how I've been saying it's been going, which is well. And Day 25 was even simpler, just allowing me to turkeypult rush as fast as possible. Day 26 was kind of painful cash-wise with only 1 sun tile, however the game also forces the golden leaf to be your sun producer for this mission, so you're kind of intended to be poor here. In other words, it was no actual problem. Day 27, I made the goofball decision to front Spore Shroom as the main fighter for this day, even though this is the only unit of mine one of the zombies have a direct defense for. This is not a slasher moment, do not comment slasher moment or you're getting crushed in the trash compactor. Day 28, pre-picked plants. Day 29 was interesting, as it was the same format of the importer introduction, but with the laser zombies and gargantuars. So not only were they attempting to take the sun tiles, but they were also blasting my side off of them. Once again, a really fun fight of attrition, like I'm fighting with an actual opponent. Day 30 was the first mold colony I've seen in a while. It was a bit annoying to deal with, and we even had to let a lawnmower go because of it, but ultimately, once again, tiger grass proves to be the universe of defense. Day 31 was pre-picked plants, and we ended the Lost City by shooting down Zomboss's plane. Far Future's main gimmick is the power tiles that cause plant food used on a plant in that tile to spread to other power tiles of the same type. Thus, this world, like the Lost City, is a buff world, not a debuff world. And after only the first day of Far Future, I decided to once again implement in the No Solar Sage Unless Necessary challenge. And even more so, you have days like Day 4 where you have to use sun bombs for sun only. But for the most part, my strategy for these first several days once again revolved around the simple setup for Zoybean, as the sooner we can get a horde of our own, we can end waves before they even start. And excluding the several survive with the given plants or ultimate battle conveyors, nothing really even that difficult even happened through these first several days, even without Solar Sage, as once again, it appears as though most all summoners are just really competent plants, though eventually we get to Day 10. Day 10 introduces the Discotron 3000, who, like the dancing zombie in the original, summons 4 zombies around itself anytime one dies. But this one also has the benefit of being a high health mech, and it was even enough to take down my Zoygantuar, however, it's just as susceptible to the horde as any other zombie. Day 11 was a plan your defense, so I went with the turkeypult and zoybean combo, using enchantment once if things got hairy. It's also worth mentioning that Far Future has the most dangerous imps, which are tougher and slightly faster. Nothing a bit of plant-placed war crimes won't solve, but but once again we should be cautious. Day 12, they released the robot Gargantuars, so we respawn with our own Gargantuars and have a good old-fashioned mech battle movie that was probably directed by Michael Bay. And Day 13, they started to buff how quickly they send the cone bots after us. However, Enchantmint once again gives my own zombies just enough of a buff to push them right back, as melon heads are almost capable of dealing with them on their own. Along with Enchantmint randomly hypnotizing zombies, it has really been the MVP of Part 3, as it just turns my soybeans into total monsters.
Check it out.
Day 13 also introduces football robots, which can one-shot unarmored zoybean zombies, but that doesn't quite apply to melon heads. Still though, we have to be careful not to stack them. Day 14 was spend no more than 1,500 sun, and this one was actually pretty close, even with the help of some enchantment, as we lost 3 of our lawnmowers. We did still manage it first try though, as we got lucky with an enchantment turn. Day 15 was protect 3 Citrons, and it was even the first time we lost a mission in the far future, as we were able to punch through pretty much every other day, even without Solar Sage so far. I did come to the compromise on the next try to puppy guard it with Tiger Grass again, though, so we were back to rolling. Day 16, Conveyor Belt Mission, Bonk Choi's favorite Xenotype and Rimworld are high mates. Day 17, pre-picked plants, Magnifying Grasses attempting to buy out the entire medical industry so they can jack up the prices on basic pharmaceuticals. And then we get to Day 18, which unfortunately did break my Solar Sage challenge again, but with 6,000 sun requirement and no way around it, we get to use Sage. Though I also have to focus on using her quite a bit, as 6,000 sun is a pretty big ask. And Day 19, we were doing the sun bombs once again, even though we had pretty much survived with little to no sun power this whole world. And once again, we thrived through it. Just for this world though, I wanted to handicap myself even more, but I couldn't even think of anything. It's like I asked for an iron lung and in turn they gave me the whole submarine.
Oh, that was the setup.
The last of the far future days did reintroduce some difficulty, but nothing too noteworthy. Day 20, I failed the first time simply because I couldn't deal with the armored imp bots fast enough, though a bit of Tiger Grass later and that was rendered irrelevant. Day 21, I got to use Solar Sage again due to the Sun Challenge, which let me spam turkeypults, causing them to rip every mech to pieces within seconds. And Day 22, plan your defense, so I went turkeypult and zoybean again, and vaporized almost everything that stood in my way until 2 football mechs got stacked, though they were screwed when I popped multiple turkeypults on that lane. Day 23, never have more than 16 plants, and don't spend more than 2,250 sun, and that was completely sidetracked as the entire day was a glorified imp apocalypse. So we just played stingy and just planted a bunch of tiger grass in the back. Day 24 was sun bombs, we spammed turkeypults and forced zombies on this day to relive the end times, and since all we had to do left was survive Zomboss's vehicular manslaughter fight, we were done with the far future, so I decided to call it for this episode here, as we made a lot of progress through the challenge in this part. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment down below telling me what you thought about it, as well as what you would like to see next, both Plants vs. Zombies and or other games. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing with notifications, as I upload new long-form videos every single week, as well as new shorts every single day, encapsulating variety content including challenges, guides, memes, audience participations, playthroughs, and even theories. But with that being said, thank you all again so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.